Good morning and good morning. My name is Israel Ibeleme, and with me in the studio this morning is Alhaji Abdu.
Good morning, Doctor.
Doctor, how are you, sir?
I'm good.
Atiku, we've not been on for like 2 days.
Yeah, 2 days, yeah.
We have some technical problems that we're able to sort out. Thank you so much for being patient with us. We sincerely apologize to all of our viewers that have been expecting us every morning by 10 o'clock for this our news analysis. I'm so sorry. We are so sorry on behalf of our manager. We have to sort out some of our technical issues and all. And today we're going to be discussing more on details on especially on politics. Campaign have started. APC kicked off their campaign yesterday in Plateau State. I think Obi and the state governor Soludo controversy stories, and also we have different stories, and they can are meant to meet with the candidates today. According to the stories we are bringing that on our table. Then the advice from Bishop Kuka, also Plateau. So we have a whole lot to discuss with you this morning. I think we should just watch us. If in case you want to contribute, please do not forget to call us on our WhatsApp line. Please, only WhatsApp line. Call us on our WhatsApp line, and when you're calling, please let us know where you're calling from. If you want to contribute, let us know the area of your interest and what you think. Just join on the conversation. Do not forget to follow us on our social media handle. Our social media handle are out there displayed on the screen, and official Aspheric News. That is on our Facebook page, and Aspheric News on our Instagram, at Aspheric News on our Twitter page as well. Do not forget to read more about Aspheric on www.asphericnews.com, and I repeat, www.asphericnews.com. Our number are displayed on the screen: +234 980 9999 8117, and I repeat the number: +234 8099998117. My name remains Israel Ibrahim. And Alhaji, let me ask you a quick question. Yesterday, looking at the turnout in Just and what stories that come out from the campaign rally yesterday, what do you foresee? What do you expect in 2023? Because that is the APC is. Let's say APC should be the main campaign organization that will lead the other campaign, because they are the empowered. They also have more access. And if you looked at some story from what's it called, the Punch newspaper, they are saying that they have about 30 aircraft that was flown down to Plateau yesterday, and all of that. That's more resources.
Well, first and foremost, we look at it from the ability of the ruling party to package their campaign, to kickstart their campaign rally. Although it came a bit late, because people expect them to say, okay, being the ruling party at the national level, they should be able to be the pace setter all along. They're supposed to have kickstart their flag of their campaign, so that other political parties should follow them behind. But all the same, they started a bit late, but at least they successfully had a rally in Jos yesterday. Well, according to Punch said party private jets stormed Jos yesterday with over 20 governors. That is huge. It shows that APC, from the outlook from outside, is one. It shows that they have the kind of squabble that PDP is dealing with within their fold, to say, okay, 5G governors. APC doesn't have that, because 20 governors to turn out. And then we saw the former Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Chibika Amechi, too, was there too. Recall that he was like the second person. He came second in their primary election in June. He was there to, at least being a party man, he showed up. Then we saw the mammoth crowd that turned out for the rally. The only sad part that we saw is that it's towards the end of it, that whereby people now it became rowdy to the extent that people are now throwing some certain object at the podium, which is really sad. It's not something that a party like APC should see. Well, it's really unfortunate. People were throwing objects. But I started to the extent that they were saying, according to the MC in Hausa, he was just saying that please stop, begging them to stop, but people keep throwing. And then people on social media, certainly, of course, we expect everyone to give his own narrative to what transpired yesterday. I saw where some people are like saying that, look, that it shows that people are rejecting APC. You understand? Certainly, people will give their own narrative to any incident, and especially sad incident that transpired. But in all, APC had a successful rally, and we are going to see more of their rallies as we continue to inch towards the 2023 election.
All right, so Daily Sun newspaper we have this morning. Our first newspaper this morning is on Daily Sun newspaper, please. Pardon me. Daily Sun newspaper. In Daily Sun newspaper, we have Obi hit back at Soludo. Anambra government being sponsored to bring down our candidate, Labour Party at large. He is right. Labour Party candidate aspiration will impact negativity on Igbos. That's PDP reply to that so-called fracas between him and the state governor. We also have Kogi wins World Bank Physical Transparency Revenue Mobilization Awards. That will be in page 21. That sounds so interesting. So, about the state in Nigeria, then Kogi is winning the that sounds interesting.
Dr. Israel, do you know I'm smiling? I'm smiling. I'm smiling because that is my state. See, I
get money from there. So okay. So we have nobody should die for Atiku, Tinubu, Obi, others. Coca. That was what the Coca said yesterday. Bishop Coca said that yesterday. Catholic Knights to deliberate on role of churches ahead of 2023 election. That is still on the Sun newspaper. We are not insensitive to security challenge on Lagos Ibadan Expressway. That is from INEC. That will be found on page 4. Page 4 newspaper. Carraway converses flexible energy transition for Nigerians. Others predict rise in energy demand in Africa. That will be found on you can see that on page 25. Page 25. 2023 editors resolve to put political actors on toes. So that is going on. We will ensure Tinubu's victory. Pledged Buhari Lawan, Damoda's national chairman, also said that. Hope back, Nigeria will be well. APC candidates. Lagos lawmaker slum died at campaign ground. Then the last on the Daily Sun newspaper, senatorial ticket, Akpabio runs to Supreme Court.
Well, let's start from the last one, Akpabio. It was a judgment yesterday that Akpabio lost his appeal.
Exactly.
And, I think he himself he should see it coming, because it's almost, his case is almost similar to that of Lawan,
yes,
of which the judgment has already been passed on Lawan, and Lawan, he decided to accept his fate. He said, look, I'm not seeking it again. Well, it's sad that and he decided to say, okay, instead of to be a statement to say, okay, I accept the outcome and remain a chieftain of the party within the state and as well as the national level, he decided to say, okay, he's proceeding to the Supreme Court for interpretation. This is a kind of drag fit, and you decide. Another thing is that PDP is the ruling party within the state. Now, this is a challenge that APC in Akwa Ibom is facing within its fold, whereas PDP remain one and PDP will go ahead with their campaign. It shows that instead of APC within the state to unite together to say, okay, look, we have a big monster, which is the ruling party within the state, that will face them in the coming 2023 election. But Akpabio, being the chieftain of the party within the state, he said, no, look, I'm not accepting this, I'm proceeding. And then with the issue of accepting outcome of every primary election, at times somebody will decide to say, okay, for the peace to reign, let me just accept it. But the procedure that produced the primary election, that is the case in this case now, it's sad that APC will suffer within Akwa Ibom State. There is no two ways about it. Then the other one is
no. So when you look at the new amendment law, Electoral Act, it doesn't.
It's clearly stated there. So, but being instead of him to accept the outcome, he said no, that he was proceeding to the Supreme Court. It's all good too, because the Supreme Court will still interpret the judgment that was passed from at the Court of Appeal.
I believe that there will be reference with
yes, to some other cases like that of Lawan case. Then the other part is the Reverend Kuka, Matthew Kuka, that came out. He's not just a clergyman and he's not just a elder statesman. He has been somebody that has been vocal in terms of civil advocacy within Nigeria, and he shows that he wants Nigerians good. But he just said that Nigeria continued to be drifting apart, and of which he has been showing concern towards that. He's coming out to advise Nigerians to say, look, nobody should die for Atiku, nobody should die for Peter Obi or Tinubu. Well, it's not left for us now. This is a voice of wisdom. They are talking. It's left for us, it's left for the electorate, it's left for the people of Nigeria to say, look, you shouldn't die for them, because if you die for them, their aspiration will still go ahead and they will not care about your own death. What we should concern about ourselves about is how to choose a credible leader and come 2023, because without having a credible leader, certainly if we decide our democracy is all about changing guard every 4 years, certainly we'll continue with this kind of journey whereby every day we continue to lament, we continue to complain, we continue to wail over the economy's insecurity and all sorts and so forth. But the truth is that we cannot start and complete within one lifetime administration. Certainly government is a continuum. When another administration comes, when you have the right and visionary leadership, you discover that the other one will now like lay a foundation. The other administration will now start from wherever the other one stopped from, and then eventually will now achieve that dream, Nigeria of our dream. Then the other one again will now say Tinubu at his unveiling yesterday. He now talk about Nigeria. He said that he will ensure Nigerian victory like that, and that Nigeria will not drift under his own watch. Well, these are things that the present administration of Buhari, he made that pledge. Even Goodluck Jonathan made that pledge. Even Obasanjo made that same pledge. It's all about the unity of Nigeria, whereby if we ensure that Nigeria will remain one and they continue to be a prosperous nation. The other part that is the problem now is that what transpired within the lifetime of the administration, and that is why you continue to see other Nigerians are falling apart. To talk about marginalization here and there. When we are talking about marginalization here and there, it's all about inclusiveness. When there's no inclusiveness, there's every bound for people to lament, and even to come to the level of deciding to say, okay, we are ceding from the federation, of which it shows that all is not working well. What we should expect every of the presidential aspirant to candidates to put forward is what we are now talking to say, okay, we should have a unity government, all-encompassing administration whereby every part of Nigeria will be represented. And what are we talking about here? Apart from the federal character, there are some other appointments, like the MDA's appointment. It should reflect the oneness of Nigeria. It shouldn't be something that to tilt to only one part of Nigeria, whereby by the time you tilt to only one part of Nigeria, there is every bound for other region of Nigeria to complain of marginalization. So if Tinubu is coming out to say, okay, I would do this, it's not left for Nigerians now to give him that listening ear and then do what is right on the election day to say, okay, we have given you our mandate. But other candidates too are there and they are talking too. So it's left for Nigeria now to analyze all the promises that all the contestants are putting before them to say, okay, this is the best man.
All right, thank you so much for that. And we are going to move on to the Punch newspaper. This Punch newspaper, we have the same story. We have story on Soludo position does not reflect Southeast stand. Obi, that was from the Labour Party from presidential campaign. Can meet Tinubu, Atiku, Obi today. That will be on the story. Will be on page 8 to page 8. Exposed criminal on Lagos Ibadan Expressway. IGP tell community. Then Tinubu campaign VIPs hits plateau with 30 private jets, 30 private chartered jets. And we've discussed that, I think so. And Tinubu promised to neutralize terrorism. Criminal assure supporters. no election winner will be denied mandate irrespective of the party Buhari. That is what he's been saying, that this is legacy they want to keep. So I think we'll just, I mean, anybody that wins is ready to give it.
It's ready to give it.
Jonathan started it.
Yeah, Jonathan started it. Yeah, Jonathan has already said that precedent.
That principle, yeah.
So
in the history of our country, that has been
not only in Nigeria, it's something that is very rare in Africa to see, in a black Africa, to say, okay, election is conducted, the ruling party will now lose even before the final. Because do you know what the problem that Jonathan solved that time? There was this speculation and the projection that Nigeria would now inflame into a crisis. And Jonathan now decided to say, okay, by the United States, to the extent that they now position their ship to say, okay, in case of eventuality, they will now move their, you understand? So Jonathan now set that precedent, and he's now being regal around the world to see as a man of peace. So, and then Buhari now has that task on him to say, look, he has been clamoring that, he has been championing that, he has been saying that, look, to the extent that 2 weeks ago, he now called the IGP to say, look, this is what I'm expecting from you. And it's now left for the IGP now and the police and the other security agencies now to comply with the directive of the commander-in-chief to do what is right to ensure that we have a free and credible election in 2023. By the time he conduct that election, let's say, for instance, now, people now decide to say, okay, Labour Party or PDP now win and hand over successfully to them. He will be commended again just the same way that Goodluck Jonathan was commended, and he left the scene of the power. So that is what he's talking about.
So another thing that also the next administration that's coming in is also implement is the what's it called? The President Muhammad Buhari legacy on administration, especially appointing of the MDs. You recall that when he assumed office as the president, that he did not sack. There was so much pressure on him to sack
the previous ones,
but he did not sack.
He did not.
That was what helped him as a continuity.
Yeah.
Do you understand? That actually play a longer role in this administration, because people were able to settle to do their job the way that they have to do their job, not like replacing leaders. You know, when you replace people, you have to start from beginning. People has already been there 3 years, 2 years, 4 years. They have a lot of experience, and the system needs to drive, need to move. But you know, that was one of the decisions he made last time. But I think this needs
no, I don't see. Okay, let's take for instance, like if for instance the Labour Party now decide to win, I don't see a situation whereby the Labour Party will decide to leave all the structures.
They want to see like an agreement within the party system, because you must. These are things that you must do.
I don't see it more or less like a spectacular thing by the president, although we commend him for doing that, because it leads to instability in the system. He decided to leave the head of the MDAs to say remain in office, including the Soludo of the CBN. Up to now, Soludo is still in the office there. He inherited Soludo from the Jonathan, and up to now he's still there. So, but I don't see a situation whereby other political party, you have to look at this thing. Although APC PDP rivalry was there in 2015, but Buhari now is more or less like a statesman before he became the president. Recall that he was once a head of state. So the way his own outlook regarding Nigeria is different from the normal politician like Atiku. So you don't expect someone like Atiku to now decide to say, okay, I'm leaving. Let's me use something like a Voice of Nigeria, the head of Voice of Nigeria. I'm leaving him there in the office to stay. No, I don't see that possibility of that. But by and large, we expect a smooth administration transition from one administration to another administration, and that is what we are looking for, and that is what we have been praying for. Well, the other part that Punch newspaper talk about is the reply that Peter Obi gave to Soludo. It was on the 14th that Soludo now wrote a very lengthy article which he called and referred to it as a response to his earlier interview that he granted to Channel TV, and how the Labour Party supporters troll on him and call him to order. Well, he's the governor of Anambra State, and Peter Obi is from Anambra State. Somebody would not expect that to come from him, but that is the way he feels. And he said that, look, if you read through his article, he decided to number it as part 1, of which it means that several other series will come. And to me, the response that Peter Obi gave him yesterday, it's in order. It shows that level of maturity. He said that, look, he is my big brother. is more intellectual than me, that he's a professor, that he has to play his own part, and then since he's the governor now.
Use the word. I played my little role as Anambra
governor. Now that he's there now,
you should do better than him.
Better than him.
Professor.
Yeah, a professor. That he's a trader. Well, it's a mature. It shows that maturity is there in the response that he gave. By and large, what we are going to see, if I were Peter Obi, I would tell my supporters, avoid this man, because if you don't avoid him, I see a situation whereby this man will continue to write lengthy order this thing, and then don't forget that being the current governor, he can dig into the archive to then bring out some fact. And then there's this before Willie Obiano exit from power, there was a kind of disagreement about how much Peter Obi left in the coffer when he was leaving power. So these are issues that at the end of the day now, it will now become a glaring issue, but they should just leave it like that. Peter Obi supporters, they should avoid Soludo, avoid him. When you see a trouble, avoid that trouble, so that you have that peace. To me, it's more or less looking for something much more bigger, which is at the national level. What's transpired within the state, although Peter Obi keep on making reference to say, look, if you my record are there, go and check. So let's forget about that one and move forward.
All right, thank you so much. Next to discuss this morning will be on the Nation newspaper. Nation newspaper, we have 3 local operators reject Nigerian air offer.
You see, you know, in our own case here, you discover that, let's see it from the football angle. When we hire a local coach here, that local coach will not be valued like the foreign coach they are bringing in.
Well.
You understand me? So the term that they offered the Ethiopia airline to say, okay, come and do this, let's partner on this Nigerian air. The term is different from what they are offering, something like Airpeace, which is not normal. That disparity is much. How can you accord a foreign airline that special recognition, that special listing? Then, but when you want to enter into that agreement with your own local airline, you now undervalue that. That is what is happening there. So it's high time that we try to accord our own local content that recognition that we are giving to international bodies. Without doing that, we cannot grow our economy. We cannot deepen our own local production. The output will suffer, and that is what I commend the 3 local airline here that they decide to reject that. They should reject it. The same condition, if you are going to give that waiver or concession to other international airline, it should be applicable to our own Nigeria handlers too.
All right, same time we'll still have 26 Nigerians foreigners arranged for oil theft. That's still on the Nation newspaper. That should be on page 5. Tinubu brighter days ahead. That is from the presidential candidate of Progressive Congress in Plateau. He said that in Plateau State that brighter days ahead for Nigerians. And when you hear brighter days ahead, what do you expect?
Well, it's hopeful. It's like giving Nigerians that hope to say, look, we should expect something brighter days ahead. Well, unlike the current administration, whereby President Buhari will not hide his own, he will tell you that there is tough time ahead. You understand? But in this Tinubu's case, it's not saying that brighter days ahead. It's good to give that courage to Nigeria. It's good to motivate Nigerians to have that faith in Nigeria. But apart from that, whether Nigerians are hopeful is what we don't know. But if you ask me from my own angle, I will tell you that Nigerians are not looking for too much in any administration or any government. What we are looking for is our ability to stay and do conduct our daily affairs without the fear of being attacked by anyone, without the law clamping on us unjustly. That is what Nigerians are looking for. Then the prices of food and other essentials that keep on fluctuating, which is as a result of the economic instability. The government, any administration that is coming, should be able to tackle that problem too. So we are not looking for too much. Any administration that is coming in, at least they should just pick at least 3-point agenda whereby to say, okay, this is our main focus. In the next 4 years, we are going to work on this. What are the main focus in this case now? First of all, we are talking about dwindling revenue, which is as a result of reliance on oil revenue. As long as the oil revenue continue to depreciate, certainly the government will suffer the problem of revenue. Any administration that is coming in should be able to look into that deficit angle of that. From that one again, another major challenge is before us now is the insecurity. We are not talking about insecurity now or within Northwest alone or Northeast again. There is insecurity in the Southeast, and now we are hearing that, look, another red alarm on the Lagos-Ibadan axis. But let's not forget that Lagos-Ibadan Expressway is one of the major trunk A route, whereby if you decide to face the challenges of insecurity, certainly people will not take to airline. And is it to fly here and there, is it affordable? It's not affordable. So the security challenge is enormous, and any administration that is coming in should be able to take the insecurity as a focal point of something that they will fight about. Thank God that the three major political, even other political parties, based on the debate we have been seeing here and town hall meeting that we are seeing here, all of them keep on making pledges regarding what they will do within the security. Although we don't expect them to put their plan before Nigerians, because security is something that is it's laced with secrecy. By the time any of them get that vote and step into office, certainly when he meets the service chiefs and other security apparatus, eventually they should be able to come out with something that will put that security problem behind. Then we talk about agriculture. Nigeria, let me say that half of Nigeria is blessed with a vast arable land, whereby agriculture could become our mainstay as our source of foreign exchange earning. That this problem of foreign exchange that we are suffering today is not supposed to be there. If we have some other diverse means of income that Nigeria could be able to boost their gross domestic product, but it's because we don't have that. It's because we continue to rely on subsistence agriculture that we are continuing to deal with this problem. State government should be able to invest in mechanized farming. Federal government too should be able to play its own role. CBN has been doing that. We need to see more of that. Then we need to talk, although some other problem too are now interwoven with some other problem. Like if you are talking about this agriculture, you must talk about insecurity too. The problem between farmers and the herders, it must be solved. If it is not solved, certainly we will not achieve that food for all. You understand? We will not achieve that food for all target. We will not achieve it. And when we don't achieve it, that is to say, this problem will continue to linger from Buhari administration to another administration. So Buhari Tinubu is promising. Other presidential candidates are promising too. So let's see how it goes.
All right, next to discuss will be on the Tribune newspaper. Tribune newspaper will have Obi Labour Party replies Soludo. My restructuring agenda is to make government more official. That's from Atiku. Kogi wins World Bank Fiscal Transparency Revenue Mobilization Award. That's also we read about that. Kyari converses flexible energy transition for Nigerians. Others. Court stop Nigerians Ethiopia airline deal. That can be found on page 7 of the Tribune newspaper. Soaring food price push inflation rate to 21%, 21.09%. That is page 7. There's something. Yeah. There's something going on here. Hit 17-year higher. I mean that's they just looked at that. And do not forget that the currency. I think like last week the currency was far better within 2 days, but now it has returned back to us. So, the aspect of the currency, we should expect it that it will continue to be like that until that lasting solution is being put on the table, and we'll pursue it. As long as we have these people that speculators outside, certainly the CBN, I don't see a situation whereby the CBN and the authorities will be able to control how to the price. Then the other part, which the Bureau of Statistics released their report just days ago, whereby the food inflation in food has gone up in the month of October. Well, it's not something that we wait for any report from any agency, but we are seeing it. Currently,
the price of rice has gone. Rice, which is a staple food on most Nigerian table, it has gone up. Beans too is going up. Yam, and this is a harvest period whereby Nigerians are like expecting that, look, once it's a harvest period, we should be able to like afford it. But we should tell ourselves the truth. We have a natural disaster, and most Nigerians, especially those within the business sector, the trading sector, we are opportunists. Even those ones that are not affected by the flood, they will now catch on the excuse they will give is flood, and then we will now see this. We would like to suffer ourselves too much. A situation whereby maybe if there's a little adjustment within the pump price of fuel, you discover that transporters will now increase their own beyond their transportation fare from almost about 50% to 100%. At the end of the day, that farmer that is transporting his farm product from one point to another point, that is the same way he will adjust his own price too. And you now see that we continue to put ourselves into that precarious situation, and that is why we are dealing with this now. But by and large, it's left for the government to now say, okay, let's do the needful. The border has been reopened, or some certain things are now banned to say, okay, don't import it. But when we have this kind of a situation, certainly government should have reconsider some of its stance, so that it will not lead to a terrible situation. For instance, you see Ghanaians are protesting the high cost of living, but here we tolerated ourselves, we have been tolerating the government, and we only suffer and go ahead like that and continue to bear the consequences.
We have still on Tribune newspaper, we have student civil society group join ASO protest over no work, no pay policy. What population hits 80 billion? That's by United Nations. Yeah. That should be found on page 5. Lawmaker Slum died after attending APC Jos rally. IGP ordered tighten security on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Buhari Adamu governors lead Tinubu Shetima campaign flag off in Jos. Ahead of 2023, editors resolve to put political actors on their toes.
Yeah. Let's you know, the press is like the fifth exit of the realm, and they are now decide to play their role because they must do it. If they don't do it, they decide to allow.
Some of them decide to promote one particular candidate and against others.
But it's even in advanced democracy.
Are you sure they will be neutral at this time?
Even in advanced democracy, it happens. We don't expect that neutrality to come from them, but entirely it should be like a more friendly town hall meeting whereby they will now, you understand, instead of that one is okay at all, nothing was done. So we are relying on, compared to the previous era of say okay from 1999 to 2003 or 2007, whereby all these town hall meetings are not there. But this time around, the guilds of editors are decided to say, okay, we are going to package something that it should be a kind of a public forum whereby these actors, they should come out. Nigerians should be able to subject them to question and answer session whereby they should tell us. Some of the media houses they have started. We have seen whereby some of the media houses are being accused to say, look, you are more of this or that. But this time around, the guilds of editors are decided to say, okay, we are going to put up something. They should put it. Subject them to scrutiny. Recall that the press is more like opinion molders, views molders. They should be able to do that. If they do that, they are doing it well, and then Nigerians will have that sigh of relief to say, okay, if we are going to ahead of that February 25th election, I'm going to vote this. It shouldn't be voting based on sentiment. It should be based on ideas. It shouldn't be based on saying, okay, here is a Muslim, here is a Christian, this one is Hebrew, this one is outside. We should go outside that, because any administration that comes that will have an administration that which is non-normal, it's all Nigerians that bear the brunt, including the editors too, including even if you are higher, even if you are smaller, you will suffer it too. You that you believe that you have money, if you have money and your money doesn't have value, of what use is that money? Then you have the ordinary man that is suffering, whereby he has the PVC to vote. That is what the guild of editors are trying to do now, to say, okay, Labour Party, PDP, APC, NNPP, come out, let's talk, let's dialogue, let's discuss. You have that platform. Speak out to Nigerians, and Nigerians should be free to ask you questions, because the process must start from now. If we don't do it, certainly will continue to suffer it and will continue to wail and continue to complain. Do you know the danger behind it? Someone that is 30 years in 2015, now by 2023 he will be 38 years. You understand? That is the danger behind it. Someone that is 40 years in 2015, by 2023 he will become 48 years. Is he not losing out? You understand? Even that child that is a year, it will be 8 years. That is what it means. We can't afford to toy with our destiny anymore, and that is why the press, the media must play the role that they're meant to play. The era of trying to play that gimmick to say, okay, look, let's give that candidate that soft landing. We should do away with it, because it's all of us that will suffer it.
All right, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I would appreciate you for your time you spent with us today. Please do not forget to share our videos today, and also do not forget to follow us or comment. Let's hear your comment. Just drop your comment on the comment section. Let's hear your thought about this whole topic that will be discussed. What's your view? What do you think? And where do you want Nigeria? What do you want to see? Why would you like? What do you want Nigeria to? Why would you like to see Nigeria tomorrow? And I just pray that in 2023 we're able to elect the right leader that can transform and that can transform the country, Nigeria, and also do better than what other administrations have ever done. And we need improvement, we need togetherness. And do not forget, the PVC is out there. Please make sure you have your PVC. You do not have the right on social media, neither do you have the right on any platform or WhatsApp platform. You only have the right with your PVC. So PVC is your power. Please make the right decision and also support any candidate of your choice. Do not boo, do not fight, do not quarrel, and also do not stop people from making their choice or participating in any of their supporting any of their candidate of their choice. But do not forget that. Please allow people to exercise their rights in their rural locality. From your House of Assembly member to your governors, make a right choice, and because the choice you make now is your future tomorrow. If you make the wrong choice, it will affect you and I. Let's stand tall for a better Nigeria. Thank you. We remain aspheric. We'll keep bringing you updates, especially in politics. And do not forget to follow us in all our social media handle and call on us on WhatsApp if you're available. If you're in Nigeria, it's outside the country, please don't forget to look out for us. Thank you so much for joining us today. We'll come back again. Thank you so much, and bye for now.